Hello everybody and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Kira and today I'm going to be giving you guys a writing update because I plan on doing these more often and I have gotten more progress done on my writing projects. So we're going to talk about my two main projects that I've talked about on this channel, which is Project Werewolves and Project Dragon. I have some other writing projects, but those aren't the ones that I'm focusing on right here in this very moment. So, Project Werewolves, I wrote that for Camp NaNoWriMo. I'm about 30,000 words into it, a little over 30,000 words. I've worked on the outline a little bit, but that's kind of been put on the back burner to give me some rest off that story, and I've really dove into working on Project Dragon. Project Dragon, I wrote for NaNoWriMo last November 2019, wrote 50,000 words. I then cut a lot of the words out of it because they were just random filler things, and it's under 50,000 words now. It's like 43,000 words, and I am in the process of getting ready to start doing my first round of edits on that, which I'm really excited about because the only other book that I have read back through and done edits on is Project Werewolves, and I ended up replotting and outlining that book, and I'm rewriting it as we speak. So I'm really excited because I am getting a printed copy of my book. I spent a long time going back and forth with Barnes & Noble Press. I was gonna get a proof copy of my book through KDP, but I've seen it on a lot of off YouTube channels. They put this gross not for resale banner across the book because it's not for resale. I didn't want that on my book, so I went through the longer process of going through Barnes & Noble, because with KDP you just upload your manuscript, upload your cover, and then they have like a little previewer and they'll tell you like if your cover isn't the right dimensions, and then you can flip through and see formatting issues that you have yourself, and that's it. Then you just say like I approve this, and then they will let you order a proof copy, and that's it. There's no extra like roundabouts. For Barnes & Noble Press, you have to upload your cover, which they have very specific specifications for that, and then you upload your manuscript, and they have a previewer, but you have to like scroll through it. I like KDP's because you can just click through it, and it's really easy to see any errors that you have just clicking through it really fast, like spacing errors, if your header and footers are off, if there's extra pages that aren't supposed to be there, that type of stuff. So I used KDP to really fix my formatting, even though this isn't for sale, it's just for my personal stuff, but I just knew, for me personally, having it as like a physical thing and then having like the formatting be all wonky was going to annoy me the entire time that I had it, so I kind of really perfected the formatting and then put it on Barnes & Noble Press, and then you have to submit it in for review, and it takes 2 days for them to get back to you on whether or not anything's wrong with your thing, and then they'll get back to you and tell you like, oh, your spine's too small, or your cover's not the right size, or the document you submitted is the wrong size for your cover, or like stuff like that, and then you have to fix it, and then you have to submit it in for review again, and then it's like a back and forth process of like waiting 2 days for them to respond to you, then you fixing your errors, and then submitting your thing back again, and then waiting for them to respond to you, and then back and forth. So my goal was to be able to get my copy ordered last week, but then I spent a lot of waiting. They don't have proofs in like personal book copies on priority right now due to coronavirus going on right now, so it also wasn't probably as quick as it normally would go just because of those circumstances as well. So I finally got my email today saying that my book was able for me to order it and pay for it, so I have paid for it, and sometime next week, if things go well and there aren't any shipping delays or anything due to the virus, which is another thing. I know it's not a priority type thing, so I wouldn't be surprised if it came later or whatever, but my physical copy of my book should be coming next week. Sometime next week. Their website says it takes 2 to 3 days for them to print a book, and then I just have like the standard shipping, which is like 2 to 8 business days. So it should come sometime next week, or it might come the week after that, but I'm hoping that it comes next week because I'm really excited about it, because I really am trying to hone in on this project. The other thing is I started working on the second book for Project Dragon. I've been naming all my documents PD2 to specify which one's which. So I've been doing a lot of work on PD2. My plan originally was to write the first draft of this book back in January. That didn't happen. I wrote about 3,000 words or so of the first draft, and then I was like, no, and I hadn't really outlined it or anything, and I didn't want to pants it because I don't like pantsing my novels. I like kind of knowing where I'm going. So I picked it back up now that Camp Nano's over and everything. So I've been doing a lot of brainstorming for PD2. I have about 5,000 words of the book written now. My goal is to get it really well outlined because I went through and filled out my beat sheet for the first book, which I already wrote, and now I'm going through and filling in the beat sheet for the second book kind of as I write it type of thing. I'm not trying to plan too far ahead because I'm still kind of trying to fill in what's going on. I know where the book ends. Like, I know where they're gonna be at the end of the book, so I need to figure out everything that's happening in the middle. Like, I know where they are starting at because that was specified at the end of the first book, and I know where they're going to end up because I figured that out way back when I first started working on this project. So I'm really excited about that. I have about almost 4 pages of brainstorm notes on my computer that I'm going to try to dump into my beat sheet. Some of them are kind of like big things that'll happen, and other things are kind of like little scenes or whatever that would be taking place like in between. So I'm really excited about that because I started writing. I went back through my 3,000 words I had written back in January and cleaned them up a lot and fix some things because I wasn't really sure what was going on, but now that I know more, I know some of the things that I wrote in there aren't happening anymore, or her, like, Emmeline as a character, that's what my main character's name is, wouldn't know that starting at the beginning of the book. It'd be something that she'd more learn later on in the book. So it wouldn't take very long to go through and clean everything up because it was such a small amount of words, and then I've added on to it. So I have like 5 scenes I have 5 random documents in my Scrivener. I think it's more than 5 scenes, but I just haven't like chunked some of them up because they're so short and I don't like them being by themselves. I want them to be with someone else to make them feel like they're longer. So I'm really excited about that. I just wanted to update you guys on my writing since I talk about it here on my channel. One of my goals for this month that I put in my bullet journal, which I have right here. One of my weekly goals was to order a physical copy of Project Dragon. So that's really excited because it's officially been ordered and it's not on its way yet. They're printing it. I got an email telling me the status of it, that it's in printing, and then I'll probably get an email when it ships out. So I'm really excited about that. And then for my goals of this month was one of my main goals was to get a beat sheet for Project Dragon because I hadn't read Save the Cat Writes a Novel when I wrote the book, and so I went through and was filling out the beat sheet, and I really put it off doing it for a long time, and I don't know why, because when I finally like sat down and started doing it, a lot of the stuff just fell in line with what the beat sheet was and just filled in itself naturally. So it wasn't as daunting as I thought it was going to be. I don't know why I was so worried about it. So that was one of my main goals for this month, was to get the beat sheet for Project Dragon done, so then when I go back through to do my edits, I can look at, what are you doing? I can look at everything as a whole on my beat sheet too. And then my other plan that I had that I have gotten done for my monthly goals is to get a printed version because it's been ordered, so I know I'm going to be getting it. And then I also have working on the PD2 beat sheet. I'm not worried about finishing it this month because my plan is to really write the bulk of PD2 during July Camp Nano. So right now I have this app on my iPad. I know I talked about it in an old video. A thing that I had been using was Pacemaker, which is a website where you can make projects and then keep track of your word count, give yourself goals. It'll give you a chart of how many words per day you want to write. You can change it depending on, like, if you don't want to write on the weekends, you can say that you don't want to write on that day. There's different graphs you can put it in. You can say, like, I want big workloads at the beginning and smaller in the middle. I want random workloads during the week and everything. And so that's what I've been using for the most part to track word progress on projects that I'm not writing during Camp Nano. So I like to give myself deadlines because then it at least pushes me to write it. Because if I don't give myself a deadline, I know I won't work on it. So I have to give myself some type of kind of obtainable deadline, because even if I don't meet it, I made more progress than I would have if I didn't do the deadline, just because I know how myself works. So I was trying to find something. I like Pacemaker, but you can only have up to 2 projects at a time unless you want to pay like a monthly fee or something, because you can only have 2 projects at a time if you're not paying for the monthly thing. So then if you want to start another project, you have to delete an old one that you have. But if you pay for like the subscription thing or whatever, you can have as many as you want and it will save everything. But it just was too much money for me to justify paying for it. And so I found this app, because I also write on my iPad. I have this little case that turns it into a keyboard. And so I found this app called Word Keeper. And if it logs in, this is what the loading screen looks like. You can get it on your iPhone too. It's not available as an app on Mac, and there's not a website for it. It costs $3.99 a month to use it, which is way cheaper than what Pacemaker is. You can have as many projects as you want, but there's like so many extra features. So these are the project that I'm writing right now. So it will put every project that you have, there we go. So these are the 2 projects that I'm currently writing in. So you can see I have Project Werewolves and Project Dragon. You can upload like book covers and stuff on them and change out the book covers. Because if you go to make a project, there's like a pre-made one just depending on what your genre is that you're writing in. So these are all my projects. So I have Project Werewolves, Project Dragon, and then PD2. And so then if we go into PD2, my total word goal right now is 50,000 words, and I'm 5,000 words in. And then there's a month calendar, and it'll tell you every day that you wrote, and the green is when you hit the actual like word goal. You can set a deadline. You can put in how much time you work per day, so then you can see like how overall how much you worked in your project. And then you can also log in what phase you were working on. So they have research, outlining, writing, and editing. And then if you kind of like keep track of it, like if you do word sprints and stuff, you can put in like your 10-minute word sprint or whatever, and it will add it up in time here. So overall it has on here, because I've been doing a lot of brainstorming, I just put it under researching. And so I've spent 2 hours and 7 minutes brainstorming for PD2 so far. And then that's the time I've spent writing, and that's the time that I have spent outlining. And then there's a time for editing too, which is in yellow. And then it will tell you like percentage wise what you spent the most time on at the end when you're done with your project. And then you can give yourself deadlines, and it will give you a word goal to get to per, like, based off what your deadline is, like, it will automatically calculate it, which Pacemaker does that. And then it will calculate like your average words per day, and like where that's based off of what your deadline is. And then if you go to add a project, here's what it has. So it has like a blank project, and then you can pick out of like all of these too if you want, like if it's a romance, a historical, and then it will kind of generate a word count goal based off of like what the genre is and what the average amount of words that normally are written in that. And you can change that if you want. So right now I have Project Werewolves, Project Dragon, and PD2 on there, because Project Werewolves, my deadline is to finish the draft by the end of June, and then PD2 I want to finish the draft by the end of July. And then Project Dragon, I just put the deadline all the way out to the end of December, because I don't have a specific deadline of when I want to be done editing Project Dragon, and that's my current goal right now. I'm not trying to add words to it. I want to go through and edit it and figure out where the weak points are in the book before I go back in and try to flesh out stuff and fill in areas that I know are missing. There's an entire chapter that isn't written, and it just says like LOL insert scene here. So this has been really helpful for me. I very much like seeing specifically like how much time I've been putting into stuff, because I watch a lot of Becca C. Smith's videos, and she does a lot of things in her life sprint wise, and she uses the Forest app where she'll do like an hour writing sprint, and then she'll do an hour sprint of like cleaning up around the house, and then she'll do like an hour sprint of sewing, and then she'll do like 30 minutes of washing dishes, and she'll do stuff like that. And so like everything's a sprint, and it keeps you almost more efficient, because the Forest app doesn't let you touch anything on your phone because it'll kill your tree, and then also you're only allowed to work on that one thing during that time, and so then it really makes you hone in on like whatever projects you do. And so I do that. I've been doing that with like video editing for like YouTube and stuff. I'll set a timer for like 30 minutes, and then I'll just spend 30 minutes editing the video, and then I'll move on, and then I'll go back to the video later, because if I don't, I'll spend the entire day on that one thing. So I've been living my life in word sprints. I don't know if I would recommend it. It's just really efficient for me because I get distracted really easily, and I will jump from like thing to thing to thing to thing to thing, and then by the end of the day, I can't actually say that I got anything done, but I can say that I worked on a lot of things, but I didn't like accomplish any goals. That's also part of the reason why I have my bullet journal, because I put specific key things that I want to get done, and so then I try to limit to myself to only working on the key things that I put on my list, or I will do like a million things and not actually make any decent progress on anything, just tiny amounts of progress. So yeah, there's my rant on the app Word Keeper and my writing update so far on my projects, which I'm really excited about. Also, another thing that I'm really excited about is I have been working on making myself a author website. I don't even know how much time I have spent on this thing. I started working on it, oh man, I think last year, and I bought my domain name. I am just still trying to finish it. There is a lot of things that go into a website which I never would have guessed. But now that I'm making my own website and I have all these pages, I could publish it if I wanted to. It's just not finished, and there's a lot of things that are missing. So that will be a thing that will be coming out very soon. I'm going to be I plan on blogging on there. I'll probably blog more book reviews on there than I do here on YouTube. I will link the thing in here. Making an author website is like one step towards everything, and so I've been putting a lot of work towards this website, and I'm really excited about it, and I think it very much encapsulates my personality based off of the whole design and everything. But that's another thing that's coming up. It's kind of writing related, so I'm putting it in here anyways. It is the majority of what has been on my Kanban board. The pink sticky notes, those are for my website. I have more sticky notes on my Kanban board for my website than like any other project that I'm working on right now. But anyways, that's the end of this video. If you enjoy listening to me rant about my progress on my writing projects, wow. If you enjoy listening to me rant about my progress on my writing projects, please give this video a thumbs up and comment down below if you've made any progress on writing. And if you aren't writing, tell me what book you're reading right now. I am reading Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets as of right now. And yeah, if you would like to see more of my face or hear more about my projects that I'm working on, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I post videos every Sunday and Wednesday, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!